Hi, my name is Jessica Vanell, and I'm doing a series on what it was like to be a party princess for kids' parties, and this is part 5. Now, could I accept tips as a party princess? This was a question that I realized I forgot to answer earlier, so I want to answer it right now. Party princesses were allowed to accept tips in my company. So on top of making $150 for every hour-long party or $75 for every 30-minute party, we could then also get a tip on top of that. However, you don't expect it. I don't recall the exact prices that we charged to hire a princess for an hour-long party, but I think that it was generally around like $260 to $300. Maybe if you added a second character, they bundled it to be about $350. And on top of that, my company offered a lot of other services, so it could get pricey really quick, so people wouldn't generally think to tip. And there really is no predicting who will tip or how much they'll tip. I did a party that was full of kids at this mansion for some really stuffy people, and they give me zip. I did a party that was for a very modest little family, only a few kids there, really relaxed atmosphere. They gave me $60. There's really just no telling. Now I want to give some information on the party company that I worked for itself. So this princess party company that I worked for didn't just specialize in characters. This party company had actually already been established for I think about 7 years when I got hired. So they not only had a huge repertoire of characters and costumes and mascots, but they were also a party planning company. So if you wanted to, you could purchase one of their pre-packaged themes that they would come and set up for you, like spa day or tea party, or if you wanted, they would customize a package for you and then, like I said, come to your house and decorate it. Now this did cost a pretty penny. I think it was upwards of $500 just for the party, not including a character. And they did also offer catering in that. So honestly, it was a pretty decent deal if you had the money. Now for my next question in this series, was there any princess party company drama? Like any workplace where you're going to have a lot of young people with some big egos, it's gonna be like high school in a lot of ways. The only drama I was ever really involved in centered around who was best at being what character, and honestly that just kind of came down to a matter of looks and opinions, and I didn't really let it bother me. Some of these other girls, oh my gosh, you had some girls who were super close friends who suddenly turned enemies, and one girl is accusing the other of cheating on her husband with multiple people, and then rumors start spreading all the way to the top to the owner of the company, who decides to take a side and essentially fire the other girl without outright firing her. And oh, I was so glad I was like basically out the door at that point, because it was just woo. So yeah, drama happens. Hi, my name is Jessica Vanell, and I'm doing a series on what it was like to be a party princess for kids' parties, and this is the final part for now. This is at least all the questions on my checklist. So what does a party princess even do? If you have hired one, or if you are going to be a party princess, what should you expect when that party princess walks through the door? Well, with the party company that I worked for, we had it very structured. The first 5 minutes we'd walk in, say hello to everyone, and take a seat. Then for the next 10 minutes we would do a story time, because that allowed the kids to stare at us and start to get used to our presence and hopefully not be quite so starstruck. We'd also ask them questions as we were reading so they would get comfortable interacting with the princesses. Then we would do 10 minutes of photos. The next 30 minutes would have been dedicated to an activity. Our company had a whole list of activities that we could offer, like face painting, nail painting, building a snowman with marshmallows and pretzels and chocolate, things like that. And then that would take up that big chunk of time. And then at the end, we would have about 5 to 10 minutes of cutting the cake and leaving, depending on how long the activities went on for. And generally the character attendant that we would have come with us kept time for us, but if we didn't have a character attendant for that party, then the bag we brought all our supplies in, we usually have a little watch around or inside of it that we could peek at. Now here comes the next question. How do you get hired to be a party princess? This answer really depends on where you are and what's around you. And if you're really young, it might also depend on the labor laws of your state, because I do have a lot of very young people asking me when they could be a party princess. It is still a job, so you are subject to the age restrictions on having a job where you live. You can start doing some research now. You can see, are there any party companies near you? What do their reviews look like? Do they seem like they're any good? Are they hiring? When are they hiring? Can you reach out to them and ask them any questions? You can start there. Then if there are not any party companies around you, or they don't seem like they're the kind that you want to work for, you can look into starting your own. And then for the very last question, how do I start my very own princess party company? Keep in mind, I've only ever worked for a party company. I've never had one of my own. I've never even started a company before. So I don't have all of the legal business rule know-how behind that. But what I do know about Party Princess companies is that you're gonna need a mode of transportation, you're gonna need costumes, you're gonna need wigs, you're gonna need makeup, you're gonna need either yourself to be able to do the parties, or you're gonna need to hire people, ask friends to do it. You probably will want to start off with doing parties for friends, building a portfolio, and then going from there. Advertise on social media, advertise locally. If there are any volunteerism you can do dressed up at a hospital or at a library or wherever else where you could get the name out there, do that. And I wish you the best of luck if you do. So the other day at work, I had a guest almost give me a heart attack. I see that we have a guest waiting in line, so I walk up to her and I'm my normal bubbly self and I ask her, "Hi, how you doing today?" And she's very deadpan and she just says, "I'm here to check in." And I say, "Well, that's what I'm here to do. Follow me over this way." And I get her all checked in and I'm explaining the resort and all its offerings, and the whole time she's just like, And I notice she's kind of low energy, so I ask her, "Did you have a long travel day?" And she says, "Yeah, I'm here with my family. We drove all the way here this morning and spent all day at the theme park, and now I'm really tired." And I say, "Okay, well, we're almost done, so we'll finish you up so you could get some rest." And we finish up, and I ask if she has any questions for me, and she says, "Yeah, I want to talk to your supervisor. Can you get them for me?" And I'm just like, because that's not normally a good thing. So I'm like, what did I do now? But of course, I say, "Right away," and I go get my supervisor, and I'm like, "I don't know what I did, but lady wants to talk to you." And we go out together, and this lady looks to my supervisor, points to me, and says, "She is amazing. She is awesome at what she does. Make sure you keep her around." And my supervisor and I were just like, "Oh, thank you. Thank you so much." Whew. You really just never know what a guest is gonna say. "Excuse me, hello? Hi, what can I get you?" "I don't want a drink. I want you to tell me when my room's gonna be ready." "Sorry, I don't know when your room's gonna be ready. Guaranteed check-in time is 3, but otherwise you can ask the front desk, they'll tell you." "No, I already talked to the front desk and they're refusing to give me the status of my room, so I want you to do it." "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but I have no way of knowing when your room's gonna be ready." "But this bar is part of the hotel, isn't it? You work for the hotel." "Yeah, I do work for the hotel, which is why they make me wear something that goes all the way up to my neck instead of anything that actually might, net me some bigger tips, but what you gonna do?" Either way, I can't look up when your room's gonna be ready. Sorry, this is the bar." But I see a computer right there, so you should be able to look up when my room's gonna be ready." "Yeah, that computer is a cash register. It's about as good as telling you when your room's gonna be ready as a crystal ball. So, would you like a drink? I could get you a drink. Seems like you need it." I swear, no one knows the meaning of customer service anymore, do they? No one knows the meaning of literally not my job either, do they? So a follow-up question that I got about playing Elsa for kids parties was, how did I explain not being able to use my ice powers to the kids? Because there definitely were kids who would ask me to use my powers as Elsa at their parties, and these hands be very warm. Since I worked in Florida, it was pretty easy for me to just tell the kids that my ice powers simply wouldn't work. I would tell them that it needs to be really, really cold for ice to form, and if I were to use my powers right now, well, you wouldn't even be able to see it. See? Whoosh, whoosh. No powers. You can't even see it because it's just evaporating that fast because it's so hot in Florida, is kind of just how we would get away with it. But for princesses who work where there is snow, I'd imagine that you could just tell the kids that you don't have the energy for it, or you want to be careful with your powers because remember what happened with Anna that one time, or just really any excuse to get them to drop it. So for a year, I worked as a night auditor overnight at a local hotel. It was a very small operation, only 115 rooms, but I got some crazy stories out of it, a lot of which I have shared. One of my favorite things is when other night auditors have commented and shared their own stories of crazy things that have happened to them overnight. And this one story that this person commented, so this person's working the overnight, and at 2 a.m., all of a sudden this 8-year-old kid just materializes out of thin air at their desk, and they're like, "Hi?" And this kid's just like, "Hello." And the night auditor asks, "Why are you here?" And the little kid says, "Well, my mommy does what you do and also works the overnights, and everyone else in the room is asleep and I'm bored. So I knew that you'd be here to keep me company." And since this kid refused to give any of her personal information to this night auditor, she was just like, all right, guess you're hanging out with me until your parents come get you. And sure enough, early in the morning, her parents ran down like, where's my, oh my gosh. And the kid was just like, hi. I need to make that into a skit. All right, doors, lights, we're gonna bring these to the office. Hi. Hi, small child. What are you doing here at 3 a.m.? Well, everyone in my room is asleep and I'm awake and I'm bored, and my mom also works overnights at hotels, so I knew that if I came to the lobby, then there'd be someone who can hang out with me. Oh, really now? So let me guess, you're not gonna tell me your name or your room number, are you? Nuh-uh. All right, guess you're hanging out with me. Yes! All right, pick out a snack. That one. Hey, I'm putting you in charge of designing a new logo for the hotel. Think you can do that? Leave it to me. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, where's... Oh, hi, Mom. Hi. You got a cute kid. Oh my god. So for all my friends who work in customer service, you know that you can't always judge a book by its cover. Except for when you kind of can. Because sometimes you can just see that haircut and that facial expression from a mile away, and you're just thinking, oh, look, she coming. Now, whenever I've had "Oh Lord, she comin'" plus Karen in mind, I've always had a very specific image in my head. And I had someone help create that image for me. And that image is Miss Karen Cat. You can actually get this design as a sticker or a shirt or a phone case or whatever you may like right now. And if you like the Princess Party stories and maybe going to a very magical place soon, I have this new design, not a princess, a queen. And don't worry, because my little bonus mom passion project is also still available on this new site too. So if you like these designs, you know where to go, and look forward to more fun, quirky designs that I'm going to be collaborating with artists to make in the future. I truly am so sorry for the inconvenience. As an apology, I'd like to go ahead and give you this voucher to use at the bar for a free drink. Oh, would you all stop doing that? Hi, what can I get you a drink? You know this is the worst hotel I've ever had to stay at, right? My room was supposed to be ready at 3 o'clock, and they didn't have it ready till 3:30. God, here we go. That sucks. And then when I got to the room, the toilet wouldn't flush. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, all my business was just floating around in there and wouldn't go down. Really, that's crazy. It was disgusting, and now I have to wait for a new room. I don't know why my company keeps booking me at this hotel. I hate it here. Me too. So about that drink, as long as it's free, get me whatever's most expensive. Finally, coming right up. Ah, that's delicious. You're my new best friend. I'm gonna tell you my whole life story. Oh, please God, no. I used to consider myself a very casual gamer, and then I quickly fell down the rabbit hole of, ooh, but wouldn't this game be more fun on this device? Or, ooh, if I got that, I could play this game. So of course, now I am downloading yet another new game that's going to take over my entire life and probably bleed into the real world, though. Obviously that can't really happen, but... excuse me? What the heck? No, that doesn't have anything to do with... maybe I spoke too soon. I was told that all real Canadians take their coffee outside. It's not helping. Can I come back in?
Do you feel Canadian yet?
No.
Keep standing there.
All right, so Evelyn loves puns, so let's try this on her. Hey, Evelyn. Hi. Do you think I should tell Ariel that dinglehoppers aren't a thing, or should I forget about it?
Oh, Christ.
You guys are scamming me. Take a look at this. That appears to be your receipt for your stay with us. And don't you see what's wrong with it? You guys are charging me a different rate every single night. That's a scam. No ma'am, I'm afraid that's not a scam. Yes it is. You guys are charging me $160 for Friday night, $180 for Saturday night, and then $120 for Sunday night? It's actually very common in the industry for hotels to book rooms at different rates per night due to supply and demand. But when you booked your stay here, you were told that your total was going to be about $460 before taxes, right? Because that's what's reflected here. Yeah, so I should be paying about $150 a night, not whatever this is. But you're still paying $460 total as agreed upon when booking. It shouldn't be a different rate every single night. I'm afraid that's just not quite how it works. When you booked at those differing rates. I need to talk to your manager because you obviously don't know that you're scamming people. Right away. Hello, ma'am. You asked to speak with the manager? Finally, there you are. Yes, my agent told me about the situation, so I took the liberty of fixing your folio for you. See? Same rate every night. That wasn't so hard now, was it? Now maybe next time you'll think twice before trying to scam me because these eyes don't miss a single detail. Okay? Bye-bye now. You sure that you should have changed that folio like that for her? I feel like it's just going to create an even bigger monster. Yeah, Jess, you're probably right, but at the end of the day, I don't have the time or patience to explain to people how this all works. The way the industry works versus how they think it works, two different things. And you know what? If it gets her out of here, makes her happy, even though she's paying the same amount either way, whatever. Maybe I should make a video to better educate people about this. Wait, why do I need to be the one that asks? Why can't you ask? Why do I have to do it? Hi, everyone. Can I help you? What? Can we get new room keys, please? Sure. I just need a valid form of government ID. We don't have IDs. We're all in middle school. Well, I'm sorry, but I need an adult to come show me ID before I can issue new room keys. What? But we all left our keys in the room and our parents are out shopping. They're not gonna be back for like an hour. I'm sorry, but it's for legal reasons and hotel policy. Well, we could FaceTime our parents and they could tell you it's fine. Like, I could do that. No, I cannot do it over FaceTime. I need an adult here with physical ID. Well, what are we supposed to do for an hour? You are welcome to use the hotel's facilities while you wait. Sorry about that, but this is a hotel, not a daycare. So as we know, working in hotels, some people's demands can defy all logic. And this story from r/tales from the front desk is a fantastic example of that. So this hotel worker is working on a small hotel that's located on an island that has tons of natural flora and fauna, and most of the grounds of this hotel is outside. So naturally, you will have protected wildlife that wanders around the grounds. One day, this couple comes to check in, and right as they're being greeted, a small bird lands in the lobby of the hotel, which is primarily outside. The lady points at the bird and says, "What is that?" The hotel employee, really confused, just says it's one of the local birds, and don't worry, it's completely harmless. And the lady says, no, I'm allergic to all animals. You need to get rid of that bird. And of course, the front desk agent's like, if you're allergic to all animals, then you probably shouldn't stay here. And the lady says, well, can't you just remove them? And of course, the hotel employee is like, what? What do you mean by that? And she tells him that she wants him to remove all animals from the entire premises for her. And when he tells her he can't do that because this is the animal's home, she says that she wants to call the police because he's threatening her life by not removing the animals. To which he responded by giving her the key to her room and the phone number for the police, saying, please, be our guest. I have no clue if she called the police. I have no clue if she continued to stay there, but what I do know is that I'm making a skit for this, which is why I'm dressed up, because this is about to be her look. Why is this hotel's lobby like outside? This is so weird. Hello, welcome to our beautiful island resort. Are you ready for your getaway? Hi, I'm here to check in. What is that? Oh, that's just one of the local birds. They're native to this island and completely harmless. No. You need to get that out of here. I'm allergic to all animals. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, but if that's the case, then I don't believe this resort would be a good fit for you. It's primarily outdoors, and there are lots of local animals that wander around the property. Oh no, I'm staying here. You're just gonna have to make sure that all the animals are gone while I'm here. I'm sorry, what? For my safety, you're just gonna have to round them up and clear them out while I'm here. I'm sorry, that's simply not possible. This island is the animal's home. We cannot locate them, especially since so many of them are protected. And I do apologize, but it is stated explicitly on our website, and you can see in many pictures that animals do roam around the grounds here. Well, if you don't round up the animals while I'm staying here, and I come across one, I could get seriously sick. It's just not possible. I can't believe this. You are threatening my life right now. Is that so? Yes, you refusing to get these animals off property while I'm staying here is a direct threat to my life, and I'm gonna have no choice but to call the police. Give me one moment and I'll be happy to get you their number myself. No, we've been over this. You're gonna go in the sitting area with Daddy. Mommy's gonna get the room, okay? Go, now. Hi, welcome in. How can I help? Hi, I'm
ভাইয়া তো ফোন করছিল এয়ারপোর্টে তেল লাগে দাঁড়াই গেছে।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
ওয়ালাইকুম সালাম।
কেমন আছেন দুলাভাই?
আসি মোটামুটি। দুলাভাই মানে?
এমন ভাব করতেছেন মনে হয় কিছু জানেনই না।
গ্রামের সব মানুষ কয় যে হে নাকি আমনের মাইয়া।
শুনলাম আপনি নাকি বিয়ে লেগে রাজি হয়েছেন।
আমি তো মদ খাই না।
অ্যাকচুয়ালি এটা অ্যাপেল জুস।
গ্রামবাসী আমার ধরছে সামনে মেম্বার নির্বাচনে ওরা আমার মেম্বার প্রার্থী হিসেবে দাঁড় করাতে চাই।
ভাবছিলাম এটা দিয়ে বিয়েটা শেষ, সমস্যা নাই, বিয়েটা আমি দেখতেছি আব্বা। আপনি আপাতত লাখ দিয়ে চালান।
2 লাখ টাকা দিয়ে নির্বাচন হয়?
জীবনে বহুত বেঈমান ভাই দেখছি, বহুত বেঈমান ভাইয়ের গল্প শুনছি, কিন্তু আমার ভাইয়ের মতো বেঈমান আমি জীবনে কোনোদিন দেখি নাই।
বিয়ে করার জন্য ফাল পারতেছে। আচ্ছা টাকা নেই দিলে বিয়ে করবে কি দিয়া?
ওর বিয়ে শাদীর মধ্যে আমি নাই।
কামিয়ানের মা শফিকুলের কাছে বিয়ে দিব না, ভাইকে দিছে।
ওরাই তো বিয়ার প্রস্তাব পাঠাইলো।
আর নরমালি যদি কোনো পোলার কাছে টাকা পয়সা না থাকে তাহলে কোনো বাবা মাই তো তার মেয়ের তার সাথে বিয়ে দিব না। আমরা কি দিব?
প্রাণডালের আবেশে জটিল সময়ও মুঠোয় চলে আসে।
সময়টাকে মুঠোয় নিয়ে নাও।
প্রাণডাল।
এত সুন্দর শাড়ি আপনি পছন্দ করলেন কেমনে?
যেমন তোমারে পছন্দ করছি।
কি এইটা?
এটা দুম্বার বাচ্চা।
পুরো খালি মস্করা করে।
খাসির মাংস করতেছিল।
মনে আছে আপনার?
ভাবির কইতে যখন এত অসুবিধা বাদ দেন, আগে তো কতবার কইছেন।
আপনি দেখছো এটা কোনো কথা? আপনি আমার ডর দেখাইলেন কেন?
দুধ পাইলা কই, চা পাতা পাইলা কই? আমার আনতে কইছিল, আমি তো আনি নাই। ছাগল কিনা টেহা শেষ।
আমরা বাচ্চা কাচ্চা নেই না কেন? আমার কোনো সমস্যা আছে নাকি? আরে হইছে ছাড়েন। আরে কেউ দেখা ভালাইবো। দূর।
কি সমস্যা এই জায়গায় কি?
বাসায় ঢোকার চেষ্টা করবি না। তোর তো বিয়েই লাগে।
বিআই সাহেব ওঠেন, আপনার না এক্সাম, আর নিজের বাসায় নিজেকে ভেটকি মাছ ছুঁতে হবে।
আমি তো বললাম যে ভেটকি মাছ রান্না করছে খেয়ে যা। কাম যে করো, পার্মানেন্ট করো না ছুটা করো বুয়া?
কোন অ্যাঙ্গেল থেকে আমাকে দেখলে বুয়া বলা?
আমি তোমাকে একদম 25 বছরের একটা যুবক বানিয়ে দিই।
সাতটা হাতের বল জন্ত ইয়ে হর্স পাওয়ার চলে এসছে।
দুলা ভাইরে বললা বান্ধবী নিয়ে বের হইতেছে সিনেমা দেখছে। বান্ধবী তো অনেক ম্যানলি।
তুমি আমাকে যে কথাটা বলছো, আমি যদি ওটা মানে শুনি তাহলে তো আর কোনো সমস্যা নাই।
যা করলে তো সমাধান হয়, কিন্তু তুমি
এখন সময় অনলাইনে, আর আপনার বিজনেস হবে অনলাইনে। লগ ইন করুন বিক্রয়বাবা.com। নিজের মতো সাজিয়ে নিন আপনার ডিজিটাল দোকান, যেখানে সেখানে যখন তখন কেনা বেচা হবে ইজি অ্যান্ড সিম্পল। বিক্রয়বাবা.com, আমার ডিজিটাল দোকান।